was a girl, young, about 8 or 9, maybe 10, I lived in North Las Vegas, Nevada. It was a scary time for our nation. It was the end of racism, and so it wasn't always safe. I lived 7 houses from my elementary school, and I could not walk to and from school. It wasn't safe enough. Or I'd go trick-or-treating, and a lot of our candy and homemade goodies were laced with drugs or razor blades, and so we couldn't eat them. I remember wanting to walk to my friend's house or to 7-Eleven, and I was told no because it wasn't safe enough for me to go. And I remember feeling so disconnected with the world. I wanted to connect in the worst way, and I didn't know how, because if my parents weren't helping me or with me or certain times of the day, then it was just not okay. It wasn't safe. And I think about how with this pandemic, this COVID-19 virus, it feels a little bit the same way. I feel very disconnected. I want to go to the grocery store, but do I wear a mask and gloves? I want to go hug all my children and grandchildren. I told you I love them, and I have 20 grandchildren, and I can't. I want to connect in the worst way, and I don't know how. I feel stuck. And I would imagine that many of us feel the same way. And today we're going to talk about connection and what it means. To me, connection is a heart thing. It's the way that I feel loved and accepted. It's the way that I feel like I belong in the groups that I belong to. I think connection can be many definitions for many people, and it depends on what your definition is, but I want to talk about how do you connect now. I had to get creative. I wasn't sure what connection would be, and I wasn't sure how to do it. And for the first couple weeks of this, I felt very lonely, and I felt very disconnected. I miss my family. I miss my children, my grandchildren. I get to hug my husband because we're both in this together, but those outside, I don't get an opportunity to talk to my neighbors, my friends. Even with my clients who've gone telehealth, and that's just a different type of therapy, and all of the clients say it doesn't feel as connecting, even though they're grateful for it. So we need to figure out how to connect. What does that look like? Well, I had to get educated by some of the grandkids on ways. I've learned to FaceTime or Marco Polo. Our community has created some drive-in movies, which I'm going to go to this weekend, and we're all set in our different cars, but at least we can have the windows open and talk. Last Sunday, which was really a fun experience, was my grandson's 20th birthday. Now, can you imagine being 20, being a free agent, kind of doing your own thing, being a collegiate athlete, snowboard every chance you get, and work a job, and all of that being taken away. All of that being taken away overnight. I can't imagine how hard that was, and now it's his 20th birthday, and he can't go do what he wants to do. So we did a family drive-by birthday party. All of us were in our own cars. We all had gifts and signs, and he sat in his front lawn as candy and gifts were thrown at him. And everybody was telling him happy birthday. One daughter made him cupcakes. She doesn't frost them, so she's throwing cupcakes out the window. And the funniest thing happened, he picked up a cupcake, he Lysoled it, and I thought, he can't eat that. Well, of course he wasn't going to eat it. He disinfected it so he could throw it in another car at another grandson. Thus ensued a Lysol cupcake wars. Cupcake battle, food fight, which was so fun. It was fun to see everybody and to see the interactions, and yet many were tearful because they couldn't get out and hug, and they couldn't have the normal interactions, but it was still fun. So I want you to think about how you're connecting. Are you sending snail mail, letters, cards? Are you texting those that are important to you and sending virtual hugs? Are you Marco Poloing, FaceTiming? Are you doing a virtual book club or a movie marathon? There are many, many ways to figure out this connection, and for each of us it might look different. I am doing dumb memes every day on my family page. I am trying every way I can to make sure that those that are important to me know they're loved and know that they're missed. I'm going to challenge you to do the same thing. Really look for those that are important to you and make sure that they know that they're loved and they're missed. Do not isolate. Social distance, yes, Stay home and stay safe, yes, but you don't need to emotionally isolate. If you emotionally isolate, the damage from this will be much more than just this time that we're having to social distance and stay safe. So your challenge for me is to figure out how to connect, to figure out how to let yourself be emotionally okay during this very difficult disconnecting time. Okay, thanks for listening. Talk to you next week.